Hi guys, we're with Carl here. What did you do this weekend?
Hi guys, so I made top 8 of the Leicester Regional and I played something that I like to call Sangas. A lot of people like the acronyms for the big pile decks these days, so this is my take on it.
And what does Sangas stand for?
So we've got Sangan, Adventure, Needle Fibre, Ghost Girl, Artifact and Souls.
Okay, let's have a look.
So, as I mentioned, the Sangan part of the deck. We have the 3 Sangan and the Arborea to search it. Obviously you can make the Almirage and search this to make Halqifibrax. This also leads into the other level 3s that play in the deck with Cherubini. So there's the 1 Edge Imp Sabres for if you've already got access to the Adventure Engine, you can send this instead as an extender. And then I played 2 Wielder and 2 Tracker to go with the 3 E-Telly for making the said Cherubini. And then onto the Adventure Engine, the very standard 3 Water Enchantress, 1 Griffin, 3 Wright, 1 Fateful, and 1 Dragoback, and the Foolish to send the Enchantress. I was testing something with an extra Griffin Rider, but just found that didn't really come up too much for after turn 1. It was either make combo or it didn't really come up, so just kept it short on those.
Decks without the Adventure Engine just don't feel good enough right
No,
now.
I mean, I'd been playing Sword Soul, and it just felt far too fair. I think if you're not playing the Adventure Engine in this format, your deck's either very specific with something like Floowandereeze, or it's probably not that great, to be honest. Onto the Needle Fibre stuff. So, got the Destruder here, also with the Foolish for help making it. And then I just played 1 Red Rose to summon off of the Hulk. With having Sangan and things like that, I'm just finding that I wasn't really wanting to normal summon this. Also, the lack of Vishuda meant that I wasn't making Baron with this and the Vishuda, so just wanted to cut it down. Obviously, the 2 Garnets for that as well. And then the extra things to send off of, such as Shooting Rise Dragon with the Hulk, and also the Mermare for the combo as well, the main brick of the deck. After that, onto the G, the Ghost Girls. So we've got, I mean, this is all just mainly Go second cards. So we've got the 3 Ash, just selected to play 2 Ogre, 1 Bell. So I was playing 3 Ogre, but with Sangan being able to search hand traps if I've opened Arborea, it meant I could play 2 and 1 and have a bit more versatility with them.
Yeah, so you can just Sangan search a Bell if you're in the Prankids matchup, for example, where Bell's really strong.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. And also if I want it for against Enchantress and I've already got something like Ash in hand or Ogre for the Fateful or whatever like that.
with Sangan being able to get you most hand traps in the game, you can just play a variety of them.
Exactly, yeah. And then 3 Droplets. I did cut this in one of my previous builds because sometimes it feels pretty bad if they've got Arclight, but sometimes the decks that make DP and Scythe don't have an Arclight up, and this just wins you the game against them. Also going against Sword Soul, things like that. You can crack the board for free.
Phantom Knights as well.
Exactly,
Droplets wins you the game on the spot.
Yeah. And then 1 Call By as well as a go second card. It's also good for going first, helps your combo go through. Having to use the Griffin turn 1 is pretty detrimental for this deck, because it means you don't get to go full combo. So having another card sort of like a Griffin to protect the combo, and also means you get to keep that level 7 body, was really quite good for this.
Yeah, the Griffin protects the Hulk, but if you have to use it to protect the Hulk, then your Red Rose isn't getting synchroed off.
Absolutely, yeah, and you just sort of have to link with it, which is a bit sketchy. And then, I mean, this is a go second card, but also leads into the artifact stuff. It was just another target for Dagda for against things like Dinosaur, Floowandereeze, things that don't really get hit by Scythe.
Yeah.
But it was, again, another hand trap made up for the go second cards there. And then, like I say, leading on from that Lancia into the other artifact stuff, we've got the Scythe, and then the things that trigger them, which is obviously the DP engine. I did play 2 Fusion Destiny because drawing this card is absolutely fine. It means you can play through and interrupt on your Verte and then hit this off afterwards.
Yeah.
And if your Verte resolves, you don't really care, you've got a DP anyway.
Yeah, Fusion Destiny is particularly good going second.
Yeah. Again, when I was playing Sword Soul, I just kept losing to DP Scythe decks, so I thought I'll play all the unfair cards in my deck instead.
Yeah, DP and Scythe, even individually, just feel like the 2 most unfair cards in the game right now.
Yeah. And then finally, for the S part of the gas, we've got the Souls engine.
Yeah, this is a little different to the standard. Do you want to explain it?
Yeah, so a lot of people are playing 3 Souls, 2 Chaos and 1 Prep, or 3-2-2. I wanted to cut down on the souls and play an extra prep because...
So you were set on 6 being like the ideal number?
Yeah, 6 in 50, because this is a 50 card deck. I wanted to play 6 to see as much as possible without seeing multiples. I think you have to play 2 Illusion for just putting back things like Mare and any other bricks that you don't want. And obviously with souls being hard once per turn, I wanted to play more cards that you could pitch off of the souls. Obviously this plays worse into Droll than obviously playing the extra souls, but I think a lot of the deck just loses to Droll anyway with the Adventure Engine, so I just wanted to play the extra cards that I could pitch off if that came up. And honestly, I wouldn't change this at all. I think this was really, really good.
Apart from an Astrograph, you'd play an Astrograph, right?
Shout out to Luke for the Astrograph. But my deck can't really facilitate it, popping it like Luke's playing Rockets. But so yeah, that was the main deck. It was 50 cards. The only thing I think I would change is maybe just cutting the edge imp. This didn't come up for me at all in the day, and even in testing, it was just pitching it off of Fateful to get the extra level 3 extender to make like extra combo. But like, I'd rather have just played an extra hand trap with this or cut down to 49.
Yeah, I'm not convinced on the edge imp, but I think your ratios for the rest of the deck are really good.
Yeah, that'd be the only change I'd make to the main. So onto the extra deck. Start things off with the Link 3. So I played Unicorn as like the highest Link monster. Having this as just a way to spin stuff, going second to link off things like the Edge Imp, if I can resummon this, or the Snow, just clearing zones to like be able to clear through a board to push the game was really good. Like, I could have played Access instead of this, but it's hard to justify it when I'm only really playing Link 2s other than this. I sort of want to play it alongside it.
Yeah, you sort of want to make Access with a Link 3.
Yeah, and also just finding that like one spin was normally enough when I have like DP pops or Baron pops alongside it. Yep. So I could maybe have played Access Code instead of something else I'll mention later, but yeah, I'd definitely keep the Unicorn in for sure. Then I had Dark. This was really good for like using souls and stuff like that to link off, or Sangan as well, like getting a search and then a summoning back, making a Unicorn. Things like that. Being able to bring back your opponent's Vertes against like PK, to be able to summon your own DP was really good, or like Yazi to get a pop. Things like that was really strong. And also obviously if this dies, being able to search a Sangan for the next turn, quite strong.
In the mirror you could even summon like an opponent's souls.
Yeah.
And use this effect, get away your adventures, draw 2, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, this card was really, really nice. On to the Broken Link 2s though. We play a lot of them, so how... doesn't need a lot of explanation, like it's part of the combo, but ending on this in this deck, unlike the base deck, where you can end on this to send the summon Shooting Riser and like send more, either follow up with Adventure for next turn, send in the Enchantress, or you can send Snow again for the next turn. Dropping the Riser down to a 3 and then making stuff with it was really, really strong. More Broken Link 2s, Cherubini. This is mainly one of the reasons why I wanted to play this version of the deck over any others, because like Sangan plus any of the like E-Telly or Wielder or Tracker, making this, being able to dump you Enchantress so you see your Brave Engine more than most other decks was really, really strong. Yeah, it's kind of why I like PK are really good, because they get to see the Brave Engine more than others.
Yeah, the Brave Engine is the best engine in the game right now.
Yeah.
If you see it more than your opponent who's not playing a Cherubini,
yeah,
you're more likely to win.
And again, this felt a lot like PK, but like you play about the same number of bricks, because like I think Fogblade's a brick, but being able to end on a
Fiendish Chain in 2022.
Yeah, being able to end on such an insane board, like PK loses the droplets, whereas this deck just doesn't, with like ending on Arclight and things like that. So this just felt like the better version, in a really weird roundabout way, but. More Broken Link 2s. These two don't really need any explanation. These two are such a problem. Well, Scythe's a problem, but yeah. Link Spider. This you need for the combo so that your Mare tokens, you can put one into this and have another token to make the Dagda, but also being able to turn your Adventure Engine into Verte as well is why this comes up. Almirage, mainly for Sangan. Being able to search the Arborea so you can make either the Verte or the Hulk with just Sangan on its own. But if you open a weird hand with like a hand trap and Arborea, you can still use this with the hand trap that you normal summon. So This was good. Sort of engine requirement, really. Onto the synchros. Play Baron for the Griffin Rider and the Red Rose. You can also sometimes get some weird hands where, like, you can summon Destrudo as like a level 6 off of your souls and then use that with the Adventure token to make this, but that's rare. Speaking of rare, it's not often you end on Savage turn 1, but you need it for when your Shooting Riser sends a snow, becomes a level 3, this and the Scythe then make the Savage for the 3rd Omni Negate. Yazi, again, part of the turn 1 combo, but going second with Destrudo, or Adventure token and a Red Rose, making this and popping back row and stuff to play through is really, really good. Neat interaction is that it can't be targeted, so against like PK, being able to snipe off Fog Blades is really, really good. Arclight again for turn 1 combo, but Souls and a Red Rose makes this. Also being able to search the illusion with this when you've used it, and as mentioned before, having this to play around droplets is what makes this deck just insane.
Yeah, there is no one card that stops this board.
Yeah, they have to open like some combination of Cosmic, Imp, Chalice, stuff like that to play through.
Yeah, they need to open like 3
and
cards
use
to
half
out
their
it.
hand to get through it, which, sure, like, they're better than me if they can open like that every game. And then the last synchro was a Cupid Pitch. This is maybe something you could cut for an access code if you wanted to. This isn't like mandatory like it is in like the base deck, because you're not using this to search Creation Resonator.
This is a little bit like a Kiner, isn't it, in your extra deck?
Yeah, like
It's a little bit more just
the
for,
combo
for
takes a
burning
while
your
to get
time.
through, like to play through anyway, especially if you're like getting interrupted and stuff. So having this as a way to burn if it does get to like a growing game and get to a game 3 is quite good. But if you have Souls on top of standard combo, you can use this to search for either Psychic Tracker or for Sangan for next turn. And then you just make the Savage turn 1 with this and the level 3 instead of making the Arclight. Sorry, not the level 3, with the level 1 token, because this becomes a 7 off of the Red Rose. And then obviously DP for the Verte is the last card. And then onto the side deck. I played 3 Droll. This was mainly for decks like this. I was really, really worried about like the Adventure Engine.
Yeah, I think this deck and Adventure Prankids are the two that I think Droll is mostly there for, right?
Yeah, and they play like Terraforming and the Field Spell and stuff like that, so this is quite good for that. As well, I don't think this is too bad into PK, because even if you draw them on the Adventure stuff, it means that they can't use Cloak or Boots or anything like that as well. So it's kind of similar to Lancia. I wanted the extra 2 Lancias for against like Sword Soul, things like that. Also comes in for Floowandereeze and Dinosaurs. Decks that you can't really Scythe, that you still want cards like this for. Also have quite a lot of cards to take out against Eldritch, so you just want versatile cards like this to go in.
Lancia's a good sort of crossover hand trap where, you know, you're not really going to do much with a Bell against some decks, and
yeah,
Ghost Ogre as well. They're a bit more niche, so like being able to side in a Lancia.
Yeah.
You know, for Floowander, for example, where you're never going to Bell them.
Yeah. And again, if you can set up like a Dagger and a DP, just like having 4 or 5 turns of Lancer against some decks is just insane. It's just game. Pank was a bit of a weird inclusion in this. The fact that it was a level 7 that could special summon itself with like the Red Rose and things like that was kind of cool, but I just wanted something that could swing over like the Adventurer token and then like pop off something else if they were ending on that. Also just like generically good into back row, so it was really, really good all day actually. Helped play around things like Blackout, where like I would activate Adventurer token, Fateful, and then special this. And then they're in a weird scenario where like if they want to Blackout, they're only getting half value out of it. 1 token collector for the same reason as Snow, like you can send it off of that in your combo.
Yeah, Sword Soul's not a prevalent matchup enough where you need to side 3 of it anymore for going second.
And like if you can in-engine send it, sort of like Beatrice in like Virtual World, then it's pretty good for that.
Yeah, it's worth putting 1 of in.
And then wanted more cards for back row. UK Regional, Eldritch is like a problem with
we saw
skill
some
drain.
other lists that were playing very little back row clears, like maybe just 3 twin, but for a UK regional, I think you need more than that. There's a lot of Eldritch. There's a lot of
yeah. I didn't really want to play evenly because like using your battle phase is like, it's not awful, but like it feels a bit kind of, don't know. I like pushing through with battle phases to clear other things as well, and like being able to clear monsters with this, where like evenly if you're playing against like Eldritch and they get to keep up a border, is sometimes an issue. Evenly does have its merits though for against things like Prankids, because this does like nothing to Prankids because everything's in defense and like Bow Wow protects it anyway. But I wasn't putting this in against Prankids anyway, so like even if they were evenlies, I had other things I was putting in, so that's why these were in there. And then to add to that, 3 twin as well. Just means that like I can use the lightning storms as monster clears and have this as well. I also wanted something chainable for things like Tikaboo, and also against Prankids. This can come in and hit the Pandemonium in the standby phase, whereas Lightning Storm can't.
Yeah, standby phase twin for both the Pandemonium and what's the Floowandereeze trap called?
Yeah.
There's a few cards in the meta right now that are in main phase only.
Yeah.
Standby twin deals with multiple cards right now.
And again, with things like Droplets coming out and Scythe coming out against back row decks, like just wanted to put as much things in.
Yeah, you don't want to be in a situation where you've put in your 3 twin, but you've still got, I don't know, Ghost Tokens in against Eldritch, where you're never going to get value out of it.
Like, we had all of these things for combo, and obviously there's like 10, 11 things in the main for combo as well, so to add to all of them as well, it was even more back row stuff. Reboot's also kind of nice for the Floowandereeze trap, because even if you like duster them or something, they still get to put up like either Apex Avian by chaining it, or put up the barrier statue with the M-Pen, things like that.
You're usually only hitting 1 trap with the reboot, but the Floowandereeze traps gives them so much advantage that if you get to reboot that, they're probably dead.
Yeah, but that was another reason why Lightning Storm was good for like Floowandereeze, just clearing out the barrier statue and the M-Pen and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So that was a side. I know a lot of people are siding Gamma, and I think that's something I would maybe look to do in the future, because the whole day I was just trying to avoid getting de-shifted, because that just cripples the deck. So I think that's something I'd maybe look to in the future. Also as well, having Gamma for anything on your Enchantress would be really, really strong. But not sure I'd cut to put those in. Probably, yeah, maybe the Lightning Storms, because again, Gamma against Floowandereeze is pretty good as well.
Yeah, Gamma fits well into back row matchup.
So yeah, thanks guys for watching. Just a few quick shout outs though. Shout out to Luke, and do a lot of theory with him. Often, now that we live together as well, being able to just chat across the room, bounce ideas off each other is always really, really helpful. Helped a lot with this deck, and hopefully vice versa with him.
Yeah, theorying and deck building, the decks that we're currently playing has been probably the most fun I've had theorying a deck and building a deck. It's just such a fun deck to play. Yeah, and also shout out to the rest of the team, you know, always being supportive, always coming to events with us, always being there to also bounce ideas off of. And shout out to Henman as well for always providing me with the cards that I need ahead of time over at Jam Jam Cards. Cheers guys.